recently I asked you guys to send me some suggestions of kits that were your favourite from your club, like in history. I'm waiting for all the club's kits to be released so I can do a ranking of each kit in the Bundesliga and two Bundesliga. It's taking its time, so here we are. I've decided, you know what, whilst we're waiting, I'll get you guys to send me as many of your favourite kits as possible, and I'm going to rank them. So as you can see on screen, we have 22 kits. Now there was like 97 comments on the tweet. If you don't follow me and you want to take part in these sort of things, my link will be in the description. It will also pop up on screen here. Just follow me. It's just Calon Bundesliga. A lot of them wear the same kits over again, so there's only 22 here. I couldn't add any more. If I did, we'd be here all day. But hopefully you like this idea. Hopefully it comes across well. Hopefully the camera quality is better now as well. And yeah, as you can see, there's 3 different types of category. We've got best, which will just be one kit. The kit that I think out of these is the best. We'll have very nice, we'll have decent, ones I wouldn't wear, and disgusting, which of course will probably be for 1 or 2 kits maybe. I don't want to put many in there. I don't imagine there will be many going in there. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. I'll try and put a photo of the kit I'm talking about here. Just so you can see a better picture instead of this little tiny one, and so you know what I'm talking about basically. So first up then we have Groovier Furf. I believe it was their 120th year anniversary kit, and I mean, yeah, this kit is very nice. I'm not the biggest fan of, this sounds ridiculous because I'm literally wearing one, but I'm not a fan of shirts with collars. It just feels too polo shirt for me. I'm not a fan of that personally, but this, it just works on this. The green collar matching obviously the green badge, it's very Celtic looking, which of course is going to help as well. With the part I love the most is obviously the parts of history down the shirt. Like, that is so sick to me. Like, I've never seen that before. Yeah, like it's not too much either, if you know what I mean. Like, there's not too much going on in the shirt, and there's not too little going on, but it's just boring. The fact that they've got like the little like pictures reel down the middle, I'm a sucker for it. I love it. I don't know why more clubs don't do it. This I can't give it to the best, simply because of the collar. The collar, it just drives me away from it a little bit. So I'll put it into very nice, because genuinely I would wear that shirt. That'd be one of my favourite shirts in my collection. If you don't know, I collect football shirts as well, by the way. If I had that, that'd be one of my favourite tops in my collection. I think that top is absolutely incredible. Next up then, we have FC Cologne. Now this shirt, I put a tweet out the other day talking about this. I hate that sponsors force clubs to just stop having the design through the top and like break it in the middle. I think it's really annoying. Like, the only club it really works for is Stuttgart, because they also have the red line across their chest anyway. But for me, I hate that sponsors can have so much control over a shirt. That being said, I think it is good to break this design up a bit. I think maybe having it through that might have been a bit too much. Obviously not having it on the sleeves I like. With the little trim of gold round the sleeves, like round there, and of course round the collar as well. This is definitely a nice kit. UHL Sport is a manufacturer I've never actually heard of. But I mean, this kit, like, again, it's like the gradient of the sort of, is it like a mountain design, I'm assuming? I don't know what the design, what the idea behind the design was, but the gradient design, I like that. I like that a lot. I don't think it's too much. There's a lot going on, but I don't think it's too much in terms of different colours and patterns and just throwing it off. I think that pattern works. I think it does look very nice. I think the shades of blue they've used is actually really nice as well. I'll put this one in think this one I'll put into just decent. I don't think it's a top that I'd be like, oh my god, I need to have this shirt. Next up, we have this Borussia Dortmund shirt. Now, I don't actually ever remember them having this shirt. I don't know if it's a concept or if it's real. Is it new? I don't know. I don't really remember this shirt existing. I've not kept up to date with the new shirts yet because I want to give my honest opinion on them when I do the video. So I've tried to like not see as many as I can. So maybe this is the new one. I don't know. But this, again, it looks like it's the Signal Iduna Park in the background. I'm a sucker for dark t-shirts. As you can tell, a lot of my shirts, like obviously this is very bright at certain parts, but for the most part, a black t-shirt is what I'm a sucker for. I wear black all day, every day. All my clothes are just black shorts and black jumpers and black t-shirts. This, Dortmund always have nice kits. It's very, you can always tell who Dortmund are because of the black and yellow. It's so distinctive. It's like Celtic having green and white hoops, for example. And yeah, I like this a lot. I think that design is very nice. It's not too much, again, I don't think it's too much. I love when clubs have these designs where it's like the city map or the stadium or something in the background. It just makes it more personalised to that club, if you know what I mean, instead of a template. And I think Dortmund just pull these sort of things off so well all the time. For me, it has to go into very nice. For me, it's definitely very nice. Out of these three, I'd probably say the Groovier Furf one is my favourite so far, so that would be in best, but I feel like there's maybe one or two tops to come that are maybe just a little bit nicer for me. Next up then, we have this Bayer Leverkusen. It's a retro shirt. It's that template from like, was it the 80s or the 90s? With the Adidas stripes coming from the shoulders, which I think is very nice, don't get me wrong. And I think it looks like it has little Bayer Leverkusen badges in the background to add a more design to it. The one thing that I don't like, because I have a retro Arsenal top that's with Adidas, and it's a similar idea to this top. The one thing I don't like is the collar. The collar feels very restricting, I think would be the word. Like, I feel like I'm choking myself out when I wear my Arsenal one. So I can imagine this top being the exact same. And I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. So I think that alone, as well as these tops, are always very baggy. Like my Arsenal one, the sleeves are very baggy, but the shirt length is very short. It's strange. So I definitely think I'm going to go with decent in this one. I don't think it's bad. I would wear it, but it's not great, to be honest. Next up then, we have this Hertha Berlin kit, and I mean, it's beautiful. It's black. Like I said, I absolutely love black kits. The graffiti design is something very different. I've never seen graffiti design on a football shirt before, and it's not completely covering the top, it's just the bottom half of the top, which I think is also very nice. Nike have done quite a good job. I like the collar as well. I like those sort of collars on shirts that aren't polo shirt collars or like weird designs. I don't know how to explain it, like a weird shape. I think they've done well with it, like to have the sponsor, the manufacturer, the badge of the two Bundesliga and the sleeve sponsor all to like mix in. It doesn't look out of place with the badge having obviously the bit of white in it as well. And yes, it's a very, very nice shirt. I would wear that 100%, but I think it's better than Woodwell. I do. I think it gets into very nice. Now I know we're very, very heavy in the very nice and decent so far. Next up then, we have this Hanover shirt. Now the photo's not the best quality that I was sent, and I won't lie, it's not for me. The colour scheme doesn't work for me. The burgundy with the sort of creamy colour, and then I don't know what this chest thing with the white is, and then obviously the TUI sponsor just looks like a creepy smiley face. I think this kit would be very nice if it didn't have either the gold bits at the bottom and on the sleeve, or didn't have this big silly white bit. Like one or the other, not both. It just doesn't work. The colour scheme doesn't work for me, and that collar is also not great in my opinion. I don't like that collar, and then the collar's also two different colours. Like this is one of the ones where there's not loads going on, but there's too much going on, if that makes sense. And for me, this one definitely is the first one into disgusting. Next up then, this is Nuremberg. Now, I don't know what year this one is from, but I love this shirt. Like, absolutely love it. Umbro have done absolutely unbelievable. The sort of diagonal stripes isn't too much. The shades of red work together. Sometimes you can get it when it's a little too bright or a little too dark, and it just doesn't really mix together. Whereas they've got this perfect. Obviously, it's only on the torso part. On the sleeves and shoulders, it cuts off, which again, it just adds a little bit more to the shirt for me. And the Umbro logos around the sleeve is something that I really like as well. I like things being on the sleeves. If it's a plain torso, I like things being on the sleeves. And it just works. The Umbro badges around the sleeve just works. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just the perfect logo for trying to do something around the sleeve cuffs, and yeah, they've absolutely smashed it here. They've got buttons, which is the only thing I don't like about it. Having buttons on football tops is bizarre to me. I don't get it. And again, I know it's very contradictory when I'm literally wearing one, but nah, this kit is so nice. It is so nice. It's going to go into very nice. I think I'm going to actually put it to the top of very nice, if it will let me. There we go. It's at the top of very nice because I think that is an absolutely stunning shirt. Next up then, we have this Regensburg top. I'm probably pronouncing that name wrong. This shirt was the most recommended to me in the thread for the Twitter. I think this got recommended about 9 or 10 times. And I must admit, it's very simple, very plain, which I like. I'm not a fan of too much happening and not enough happening. Obviously, it's just pinstripe across the way, and red and white. Other than that, not too much going on. I think the gold sponsor actually adds a little bit to it. I think if the sponsor was white, it would maybe just ruin it a little bit. It would just be too much, if that makes sense. I think the gold actually makes it look a little bit more expensive. I feel like before, if that was white, I think Sailor or Sailor, however you pronounce them, I think this would just look like a generic gym top or like a leisure wear shirt, but the sponsor being gold just adds that little bit to it to make it look a bit more expensive to me. Personally, I'm going to put it in, I wouldn't wear it. I think it is a nice shirt, but those sort of companies who are like Sailor and these lesser known companies it just tends to be poor quality. So purely down to that, I'm going to put it in wouldn't wear. Not because of the way it looks, but because of the way it probably feels and fits and stuff like that. Next up then, we have this Fortuna Dusseldorf shirt. And I like this. It reminds me a lot of Eintracht Frankfurt. When I seen this, I thought it was a Frankfurt shirt. It also reminds me of like Pirates of the Caribbean, or One Piece maybe. I could see this being in One Piece, or like a One Piece merch sort of thing. I think it's the skull and crossbones, makes it very piratey feeling. I do like it. I think it's very nice. Again, it's got a button, which is just, I don't know if that's for me. The button, I don't know if I like the button. And then down at the bottom, if you can see, I don't know how big the picture is on screen, but there's like a little red square on the side, which just breaks the pattern. And like, why is that there? Just, if you're, whatever it is that's there, I don't know if it's like a sponsorship thing or something, just make it smaller and fit it into the red bit so it looks normal. Like that bit there, just for my OCD, just really annoys me. So for that reason, I'm going to have to put it in decent, because that is just going to irritate the life out of me if I don't. Next up then, we have this Freiburg shirt. Now, as I've said before, I'm a sucker for a black shirt. Now, if a black shirt can have a little bit of an accent to it, like a little bit of purple or pink or green or in a bright sort of shade, then I'm all for it. And this shirt as well, it looks like, I don't know what the design is, but it looks like a camouflage maybe sort of idea. Part of me doesn't like it because that sort of lighter blacks can look like a wet sort of top look, which I'm not a fan of. But part of me loves it because in this photo you can see it on the guy on the left, it's not the best, it looks like a wet t-shirt. On the guy on the right it looks like camouflage and looks really cool. So I'm a fan of it. I do really like it. I like the colour scheme. It just depends on the way it would look in person, but if it's on the guy on the right, love it. If it's on the guy on the left, I'm a bit hesitant. So for that, I'm going to have to put it into decent, but I think it probably would be at the top of decent if this lets me. There we go. Next up then, we have FC Schalke. And this top, to be fair, it's very nice. I actually still remember this top. It's a very nice top. It's a different shade of pink that you normally wouldn't see in a football shirt, which I like, something a bit different. One thing I don't like about this shirt is the manufacturer being in the middle. I love club badges in the middle and sponsors and stuff being in the middle. I don't like it when it's just the manufacturer in the middle and then the club badge on the side. If you're going to put one on the side, put both. If you're going to put one in the middle, put both in the middle, or just don't. It's as simple as that. It's also got like the sort of stripes down the way that are not very obvious, which I like. But I do feel like this is a little bit too plain for me, and that manufacturer in the middle really throws it off for me. This one I'll put again. It's going to go into decent. Next up then, we have a shirt that I actually own. I have this shirt, and I must admit I love it. It's a beautiful top. It's something a bit different. I feel like you don't really see this sort of polka dot design, and then it's like countered on each other, if that makes sense. Like, it's nice, it's very nice. The black and gold, again, a black shirt, I'm a sucker for it. The gold just suits it really well. One thing I do wish though with this shirt is that the dots were a different colour. I feel like this shirt would look so good if like the left hand side dots were blue and the bottom ones were red, or something, just something to like change it up. I just feel like the dots, the gold dots don't look gold, they just look a weird colour. But yeah, I feel like there's something else they could do there to the dots to just make it look that little bit better. And for that, I'm going to put it into decent again. Next up then, we have, I believe this is Kaiserslautern. I could be wrong there. It could be Karlsruhe, I think is how you pronounce the other club. I'm awful at pronunciations. Please accept my apology on that. But this kit is absolutely beautiful. Now, obviously, I'm a Celtic fan, so I'm not a big fan of red, white and blue shirts. But this is absolutely beautiful. I love the design, the sort of dissolving stripes is very cool. You don't see that very often. Unfortunately, it looks, to me from this photo, it looks like a polo shirt. It looks like, with the sleeve cuffs and the collar, it looks like a polo shirt, which I'm just not a fan of. But the design alone is absolutely beautiful and I love it. I actually really wish more clubs would do something like this. But for being a polo shirt, I can't rate it too highly. So I will put it in very nice, but it's going to go into the very bottom of very nice, simply for being a polo shirt. Next up then, we have Augsburg. Straight away, what I'm looking at here is the Hummel badge in the middle, which is very annoying. I love kits that have this stripe, like the two stripes down the side. It reminds me very much of an old Celtic shirt that was basically this shirt but with a green and yellow stripe down the side. One thing that does annoy me with this as well is how high up the sponsor is. Like, why is Jack Wolfskin the height of the badge? Why is that a thing? That and the fact that the Hummel badge is in the centre really just throws me off a little bit. Other than that, I think the kit is absolutely beautiful. I actually really like this. But for me, yeah, the sponsor and the manufacturer being in the middle just throws it off for me. I will put it like midway up. We'll put it here. We'll put it there. I like that. Next up then, it's back-to-back for Augsburg, and this one is essentially just Jacko's take on the previous shirt. This time it's a green shirt with a red and white stripe down the side. Straight away, the manufacturer is on the side, which is ideal. The sponsor is where it should be, but the sponsor has too much control over this shirt. The sponsor has made them break the stripe, and that for me is just so annoying. If I was Augsburg here, I would probably take the bottom half of the stripe away and just have it so the stripe comes down from the shoulder to round the badge. It would just look just a little stripe. I think that would look incredible. I think it would be absolutely brilliant. But this shirt I do really like. I do think this shirt is very, very nice, and I'm going to put it up to the very. I'm going to put it to very nice actually. Yeah, it's going to go into very nice because again, it's a very, very nice shirt. Next up then we have a Holstein Kiel shirt. Now this one I'm not a fan of, I won't lie. Red, white and blue for a start. Not a big fan of that. The Famila sponsor, it hurts my eyes because of the white and blue sort of scratchy sort of look. If you're going to have the sponsor as white, why is the Puma badge then not white? It just feels like there's no sort of, it's not coming together properly. But the sponsor being one colour, the manufacturer being one colour, the badge, obviously it's all three colours, but it's mainly blue, so it's like each one is all separately different things, and then they've got a yellow sleeve sponsor. Yet this, for me, is just, it's not nice. It's not nice, and I'm going to put it in wouldn't well. Next up then, we have this Schalke home shirt. Now this is very nice. I think it's their new home shirt, and it's just pinstripes. It's not got the nice collar. The collar's not the nicest, but this feels very like early 2000s to me, and I don't know why, but this is just screaming early 2000s. It's fairly plain, so there's not really much to say here, and I'm very wary of how long I've been recording, and I don't want the video to be too long. So this, I like it, but I probably wouldn't put it in. Yeah, I'm going to put it in decent. I wouldn't put it in very nice. Next up then, we have this legendary Bochum kit. Now, the first time I seen this was actually Leon Goretzka singing at the relegation playoff game, and wow, it's absolutely beautiful. If anybody knows where I could get this shirt, please let me know in the comments, because I want this shirt. It's absolutely beautiful. Obviously, it's got the inclusive, the pride sort of colours, which is very cool in itself. It's got the VFL all the way through the shirt as well on the blue side. Again, it's something where they've tried to do something and they've not made it look too busy, if that makes sense. The sponsor is absolutely ginormous, which is a bit annoying, I won't lie. I wish the sponsor was smaller, but it is a retro shirt and things back then were different, so at least it isn't a betting company, I don't believe. Let me know in the comments. Is it? I could be wrong, I'm not sure. And for me, straight away, this goes right to the very top of very nice. I'll put it second in very nice, because that Nuremberg top is just a work of art. Next up, we have this FC Schalke kit, and oh my god, is this beautiful. This kit, like, I used to design kits when I was younger. I used to always like go into Photoshop and stuff and make my own kits, which sounds weird, but it was fun. Let me know if you ever want to see some of them, because they're absolutely terrible, but it'd be funny. But I had no idea this Schalke kit existed, but I used to always, when I was making Adidas kits, do the three stripes down the badge. I think it just works. It looks so good. It's a good way to incorporate the Adidas stripes without it just being the same old thing down the sleeves. Unfortunately, it does have a collar, but the more I look at this, the more I love it. It's just such a beautiful shirt. And I know I keep saying I don't like collars, I don't like buttons, and I don't like manufacturers in the middle, but there's an exception to every kit. There's an exception to every rule, I guess, and this is the exception. For me, this goes straight up into the best kit. This kit is phenomenal for me, and I absolutely love it. Will anything sort of throw this off? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it'll be able to, because I absolutely love that. Next up, we have this Werder Bremen shirt. Now, obviously, I'm a Celtic fan, so I love green and white. Unfortunately, for Werder Bremen fans who are watching this, I'm not a fan of this shirt. Now, the reason why is simply because the green and white stripes I love, but why then does it go into green and green stripes? Like, just cut it off at the middle, so it's just green and white stripes and then solid green, or solid white and green and white stripes. Like, it has to be one or the other for me. I think the green and white looks good, but then green into green is just too much for me. Personally, for me, it's too much. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it doesn't look right for me. And for that reason, I'm going to put it into wouldn't wear, just because I do think it is just too much. And the penultimate kit then for this episode is the blackout Borussia Dortmund shirt. I'm a sucker for this shirt, I really am. I think this shirt is just incredible. I wanted Celtic to do something similar. They kind of did with the shirt I was wearing in my last episode. It's green and white hoops, but in the white stripe, the badge is green, and so is the sponsor. And in the white, it's white, sorry, and in the green, the Adidas stripes are green. Yeah, I mean, a few clubs have done this. It does feel a little bit overdone now, but as I said, I'm a sucker for a black shirt, and this is black on black. It's so nice, and yeah, it has to go straight to the very top of very nice. I still prefer the Schalke shirt. Dortmund fans won't be happy with that, of course they won't, but yeah, that Dortmund shirt is absolutely stunning. And the final shirt for this video is, again, it's the third Borussia Dortmund shirt. This one is obviously very historic. It reminds me of Paul Lambert. I think I had a conversation with the person that sent this, and we agreed, or we came to the conclusion, this was the year before Paul Lambert signed for Dortmund, but it still just reminds me of him because it's in that era. And I mean, this shirt is very nice. The sleeves look very baggy, whereas the torso looks short, kind of like my Arsenal top. But the design is very cool. It's very 90s, and I mean, if they want to bring something like this back, it's definitely something that would be on my list of shirts to buy, because this is very nice. Now, I don't want the video to last too long, so I'm just going to quickly put this in. It's going to go into very nice. Some of these I've put at the bottom or the top of certain ones because that's where they belong. Other ones I've just put in general. But this is the final tier list. The only shirt that I think is disgusting is this Hanover shirt. It's just too busy. And my favourite shirt out of this list is the FC Schalke shirt. Let me know in the comments what you think. What's your favourite shirt out of these? Try not to be biased to your club, of course. And if you want to get involved in these sort of things when I do these, follow me on Twitter, because that's where all the questions will be asked. Twitter, again, in the description, popping up here, hopefully. It did earlier on anyway. And thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what other videos you would like to see. And don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, because it's very helpful. And until next time, I shall see you later.